Well, hello, and welcome to Opal City Confidential, a Starman podcast. I'm here with Kirby, and we're going to be a fly on the wall in Jack's first meeting, or his only meeting was the Justice League. He's in a couple events. They've bumped into him probably.
I think they know who
Um,
he is at this point.
yeah, they know his dad. They're his dad real well. But this is where Jack goes to try to borrow the car from the Justice League. And it is, for what it is, it's a very interesting issue. When I read it, I went, oh, yeah, now I'm remembering. And there's a lot of times pass. And then Jack finding out he needs to go on this epic adventure. And then it's issue where he's decided he's going on the epic adventure. Now he's on getting the ride for the epic adventure. And then there'll be another stars times pass. And then he will go off on the space adventure.
Yeah, you've talking a lot about like just how Robinson was in the middle of like a midlife crisis at one point, but at least here he's finally moving a piece forward, even slowly.
Yeah, and I think having it be the last issues of Tony and making sure Tony goes out on the issue that he goes out on.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a transition in this book, and it's the most important transition because it's the thing that makes sure he's going all the way to the end.
Hmm.
Because this is when Robinson just goes into full mode again. And folks, I read like 6 comics in a row on anything because I jump around. I'm not reading this ahead, as I've said over and over again, but like sometimes I just want to. And Kirby had to kind of help me get, because I have so much in the can. So I can keep putting stuff out, but I don't do it in order. So we're doing this, and I still have 3 times past that I have not dropped. There will be one probably this day, because now that I figured out which ones that I thought I'd dropped one, and I have not even edited it. So, but we're going to cover Starman 43, featuring the JLA. Can you give us the pertinent data?
I can. So, Starman number 43, Nights Past, has a cover date of June 1998, an on sale date of April 15th, 1998. I hope you paid your taxes. Writer James Robinson, penciler Tony Harris, inker Wade B. Von Grawbadger, letterer Bill Oakley, colorist Gregory A. Wright, and editor Archie Goodwin.
Um, well, this Tom Mike's doesn't have a synopsis probably
Does not
because
have a
it's
synopsis, and I'm
basically,
like, I
yeah.
can't do one.
Well,
Maybe I could.
no, well, basically what it is, it's about Jack talking to his dad and Shade, and for help, he needs a spaceship. I'm
Yep.
going to do this. He also have a conversation with him, and he then meets the Justice League, and they have their for the standard first meeting with a possible member. I think
Hmm.
that's the way the Justice League is looking at. And he just kind of goes on missions with different chunks of them. And Batman backs him up because Batman's the only one who's worked with him. And they have a great Justice League adventure. It's like 3 pages, 4 pages. Um, and they say no. We have 3 very good. I love Sadie
She,
and Jack together, and I love their real couple. Um, and that he's doing this not only because it's a Starman you're talking about, but because you've asked me to. And people like, "Are you believe her?" He goes, "She asked me to." Is his answer to it is because I love her and she asked me to. I'm going to do it. That's my thinking, and I like that
yep.
because that unconditional love is she has asked me to go on a quest to find her dead brother. I believe her. I, why would I not believe her? She's my girl. She's my partner because they're very much part.
They're
She
in
gives him an
like
out later. She in the end of the book, the end of the series, they have such a good relationship that she loves him enough to allow him to make the decision on his own
right, but like we're finally
and
at a
gives
point
her
where
the option, and you do not have to worry about anything if you make another choice.
right.
Um, And then when he makes a decision, he makes the perfect decision. And it's the last act for Jack. His curtain call, because everybody who's listened to this I hope has probably read the book, and if they're not, folks, it was a finite story. It ended. Jack's story ends, and it has been allowed to stay done.
Which is
and then
the right
people
decision.
could have, Jeff could have can I just use him once? I mean, he would probably do it for them. They're all, but maybe, I think leave it alone. I like it having a finite ending. But it plays back to his relationship with Sadie. This is a real relationship. And the way Tony portrays it, and they're where they are intimately, and then the shade comes in, like, it's like, could you not?
Could you pretend you're human for 5 seconds?
Yeah. So that's when Shade shows up and takes him to this building that people have been, it goes, I've walked past this for years. I never knew it was there. What's going on? And inside is a Jules Verne's spaceship. It looks like the Nautilus.
100%. I was
Yeah.
wondering, I can't remember if they name drop H.G. Wells's Corviknight from Men into the Moon or whatever that book's called. So just keep an eye out.
If they do, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah. No, I mean, that'd be a perfect James Robinson touch.
Yeah. What was it? Was it a Garth Ennis or a Morrison book that was set like in this British space program, and they gave it a logo. It didn't run. It didn't go for long, but it was cool. It was him and Jack Weston. It was someone in Jack Weston. So it's either Ennis or Morrison. I'm not good at looking at it, but they did where they set it in the British rocket group where Quatermass worked.
Okay.
And they gave that, and I've got a T-shirt. It's got their logo because I loved it. I love that book. I like alternate history, and that they rep Quatermass at the British rocket group. Yes. Oh, Bernard's there. They just would say Bernard.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that, and because the shade, folks, if you're hearing a motorcycle man, means a man with a very small penis is driving down Monument Avenue in Richmond.
If you make, I can't hear it on my end, Ross.
Okay, so it's just there are a lot of muscle cars that go up and down the street on a Sunday, and it's beautiful out, so we have the porch open.
Yep, trust me, I get it.
It does, and because he is a Victorian villain, and this version of the Shade is it's when I read an old Shade story.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's weird. You can infer it sometimes. I think there's some of that. Gardner and John Broom wrote some Flash in the Silver Age, right?
Yeah. John Broom definitely wrote some.
I think they played him. They played him as the villain, the melodramatic villain.
The mustache
just doesn't have the mustache.
Yeah.
So, but here and in actually the Stargirl TV show.
Nice. The
guy that got him is a good choice.
Oh, they did. Okay, cool.
They use him. He's got a big part in it.
Very good.
And there's a good twist, and it's very Barbie, not Barbie, Buffy.
Gotcha.
It's a Buffy show. It's just with her. I got to the top of the third season. I'm enjoying it. I had to do a season at a time, so. But this is Jack's. This story is ultimately Jack. He's putting together what he needs to go to space, go on this mission, and this issue is he's made the decision, and now he's making the question. I like how it's nights past, and instead of times past, and it's night with a K, because it starts with him and his dad.
As he's showing him his new shop, and
I know, man, his stuff. This is some of the fun best Tony Harris world building panels in this book. And this is my favorite double page spread, showing the shop, a night's past.
I gotta say, this book is filled page to page with gorgeous Tony Harris art, but there are a lot of splash pages and double page spreads, so it is very much a decompressed issue at the same time.
Yeah, but
It makes up for it by the quality. But it's just one of those. Reading this, you can tell they're maybe stretching to get to 45.
yeah, a little bit. And I think maybe I think you're giving Tony some space at
Yeah.
the end to go kick it, man. Just kick it. And I think he does. I think it's some of the best work he's done
Oh
because
God, yeah.
not only is he doing these like we get a double page spread right outside the street from the shop, and it's an old building. That's a very Richmond kind of thing. We have some old buildings on certain streets that have been turned into like bookstores and stuff like that. It's kind of odd. We've got one that the building looks like a milk bottle, and it was an old bottling plant. Now it's full of condos downtown.
Yeah.
But I kind of like this take of it, and then going into the shop.
I want to go to this shop and not buy anything because Jack's overpriced everything.
Yeah. Or I would find something I couldn't live without, and it was just too expensive.
Yep, exactly.
But it's really nice. The giant stuffed chicken head I don't get.
I was gonna ask about that because, like, okay, the hippo, the mountain goat, even the walrus, I can
Size
get.
proportionate.
Yeah.
But I
Then let's
like,
see, Mr. Magoo, Betty Boop, a dog, all this.
where's
Great.
Mr. Magoo?
Right.
Right by the Victrola dog.
Yep.
I love this. And what I also like about it is the conversation between father and son.
Oh, this just shows how much further their relationship has healed over the course of the series up to this point. Because amongst other things, Jack's kind of trying to pitch like, "Hey, I own this building. I own all like top to bottom, so I don't have to, pay rent. I don't have to, I own a piece of Opal City now. Aren't you proud of me?" And Ted basically says like, "I've always been proud of you. I knew you were never going to be a rocket scientist. I'm a little sad that you were never into Starman for a good chunk of your life, but I've always been proud of you. You're a man."
Yeah, I really like it. And the way that Tony's the 2 page spreads, and then this is just one panel over 3 panels over one panel, with a lot of shadows, and the hat is important. You see him Ted throw his hat and it lands on top of the hat stand.
Oh, so
Like
perfectly.
it's nothing. It's like I
Yeah,
am a superhero.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah, I've learned a few tricks. And then on the next page, is Ted about to hit it on that hookah?
That to me is like, man, I'm having a much more personal conversation with my son than I'm used to. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah,
Is how
okay.
I
I think
take
it is
it.
too, but it's like I like how it's 4 panels, like you're
Yep.
looking through a window at them. And
Yes.
it's got all the decoration of all the weird knickknacks that he would be in Jack's shop.
And my favorite bit is Jack is like kind of like toying with the airplane, but it's like he's reaching his hand out to the stars. I think that is an excellent touch by Harris.
Yeah, it's really good. I also like he says to his dad, "How are things going finding me a rocket? You were serious about that? Serious as a grave. I got to go into outer space and I need a rocket to do it." And then I'll explain it all again. So because it's been choppy, you're gonna have a little exposition. And this is him talking to the shade. It transitions to where the next part of the thing is why, and he says, "Sadie, my girlfriend was actually Jane Peyton, the sister of Will Peyton, the Starman before me and David. How she came to Opal and met up with me in the hope that I'd go into space to find her brother, who she's convinced is still alive." Shade goes, "And what did your father say then?" He was quiet. Shade, quiet for a really long time. God, I didn't know what to do. It was like I was 16 again and asking to borrow the car for the night. And then he turns to me after a long silence, and he simply says, "I'll see what I can do." Um, and then they continue can chat, and he gets. So who gets? Oh, he called Jay Garrett. They
Who-
explains he called Jay Garrett, and he gets him. He's going to get to meet the Justice League, and then there's another double page spread. And I really like this era of Justice League a lot. It's
Yep.
a good run. It's a good team. It's a good lineup because it was the Big Seven, but three of them weren't the original Big
That's
Seven.
and
That's
that's
what
the
made it
thing
work.
exactly because I think okay, so I just want to give my little thing. This is a top three Justice League run. That's not in question for me. But I
Oh yeah,
think
yeah.
what comic fans forget is that like I think this inadvertently poisoned the well to where you have a good segment of comic fans who think that Justice League needs to only be a big seven, and that's wrong and boring. But it's like you gotta remember, it was Wally and it was Kyle, and that makes a big difference, people.
It does. There's a different dynamic to the team, and then the strategic new characters. It's such a good one. Zuriel when he couldn't use Hawkman.
Yep,
Um,
Plastic Man, was
Plastic
used to
Man,
a
yeah.
really good effect in this series to help
Um,
balance out team dynamics.
yeah,
Um,
it's a good run, and that it's the way it's. I'm going to get those in the. I don't have those, I know, but I may get them in the book. JLA one vibe. Just they've been doing them like I've been getting the Tom
big
King
big
Batman.
ones, yeah.
Yeah, so
Um,
they're
it
worth it.
makes Electric Blue Superman work really well in a team dynamic because that's the thing. It's like this is a
That's
great,
how good it was. Because
yeah.
I love Superman Red and Blue. This was like, oh, they're doing it again. Okay, cool. Because I remember shit, they did it a bunch. They've done it a bunch of times. But this, when they gave them their own costumes, it was really a, a costume that came in this era. This is a lot of I could see Scott McDaniels drawing this. This is that era. There's a lot of, the people doing Batgirl and Howard Porter. This is Howard Porter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Howard. I checked. Currently Wade is writing the ongoing at this point.
This is where they switch jobs.
Yeah, yeah. But
So
Howard Porter
what
is
did he
still
what did he
penciling
took
through.
over Morrison took over Flash,
Yep.
and he took over JLA.
And then they switch back. Yeah.
So but it's a great team up. I love it's a bunch of bad guy robots.
Yeah, because who they're fighting isn't the important part. It's again, like you said, it's Jack. For them, it's okay. Jack, is he going to be a member of the league or not? And for Jack, it's like, I really just kind of need to borrow a spaceship. And okay, right, tell me if this is right or not. First, the JLA look like ominous throughout this whole little section of the book. Am I right on that, or am I wrong?
Yeah, I think they do. I think that it's very frenetic um in what's going on. But yeah, it is more. Yeah, I think you're seeing it does come off darker. I think it's just Tony's art, and that's not a bad thing. And how does Jack see them? Sometimes I have a feeling we're seeing what Jack would see.
Yeah.
He's that they're leading, they're giving us a little hint of what that is. Jack's a little, they don't trust him. That's all right. He goes, what can I say? I'm a nut for my, because they ask him about it. The Flash has a point, Jack. If it's kind of vague, don't you think? All this because your girlfriend feels her brother is still alive? What can I say? I'm a nut for my honey. Um, I'm a nut. My honey has gut feelings, and I'm ready to play Tom Corbett. Corbett. Well, better split. And then you see him have the lovely conversation with Sadie, because I mean, I love this. I love these two as characters.
Like again, we're at a point where but if the build up to this point in the relationship, it's been natural, it feels natural, and Jack has fully grown as an adult here at this point where he's like, hey, I'm gonna be gone for a while, why don't you mind the store while I'm gone, and you can do your art stuff whenever the mood strikes, and you know it's
Yeah,
all good.
yeah. It's So hold on, I want to check something because this isn't Tony's last issue, is it?
No. 45, I think, is his last issue.
Okay. And he'll do covers.
Yeah.
And I will probably, when I get to his last one, I may do an episode just about, might be do an episode where we are with the series with, Tony's curtain call being the regular penciler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because there's another Times Past. The last Times Past with me they pre-recorded is Gene Ha, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's Yao. And then it takes them a while to get to uh Snegberg,
Yeah.
who becomes the regular for a while.
Yeah, who I think wraps up the series, if I remember right.
Yeah, but I always liked his stuff. I
I
really,
did too.
I do. It's got that kind of Mike Cho kind of basic kind of thing to it sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm always good. Dave Gibbons thing where it's really just well done, super well done, and platinum super uber card version of pencilers. I think Ordway's like that to me.
Mm-hmm.
I like that kind of. I like it to be a little cartoony. Like, what would your cartoon look like moving? And I do. I think every time I see his name on a book, I'm gonna look at it.
Oh yeah.
And
Hornsby and Halo,
oh my,
masterclass.
yeah, his art is it is so much more refined of his style, and it is a beautiful. It's a kid's comic. Again, showing us in flat two-dimensional art what this would look like as a cartoon. I think
Yep.
I'm having a problem with some comic arts right now because a lot of it is like Marvel is just not hiring people. They're just
No.
hiring kids and giving them a try. And good. Maybe you'll find some great ones, but some of the stuff isn't just seems a little rushed. And especially when and I think it happens in Ghost Machine, I haven't objected to Paul Peltier filling in because I think Paul Peltier should be drawing Justice League or something.
Yep.
I fucking love his art. His cross-gen stuff was amazing. His Marvel stuff was amazing. He's great. Kind of reminds me of Don Newton a little bit.
Okay.
Because the sci-fi was so fucking good. I have not gotten the first, I was a cross-gen person. I read it religiously. That was a great company. The stuff had me reading science fiction and fantasy stuff. It was really good. It was kind of like Ghost Machine is now, I think, but just not getting the love. Didn't get the love. But I don't mind, you know what I mean? I just think it looks rushed.
Yeah.
And what I've liked about this series, how they're going to jump around a little bit, but they really, I think for like the Times Past that people, hey, would you like to do a Time Past episode issue? Oh yeah, well, what do you want mine to be? What do you want it to be? How much because Gene Ha does a few of them.
Yeah, and I gotta imagine, like, hopefully Robinson was collaborating where it's like you said, it's like, well, I kind of want to draw this sort of story or that sort of story, and I think that's the way you should go, especially with a guest penciler for an issue
Well,
like
and you got
that.
Archie. It's like
Oh,
Archie. Who should do this one? Who do you think? Because he loved Archie.
yeah, and in this omnibus, I think in the back of one of the issues, I think Tony Harris drew a all pencil tribute because Archie is closer to his end than not.
Yeah, it's when you have a good editor.
Yeah.
Archie did a lot of really good stuff, man. There would be no Vertigo without Archie,
Nope.
and Karen Berger.
Burger. Yeah.
I think he was Karen Berger's mentor
Yes.
because she's a fucking great editor.
Oh, she's one of the
There are some
best.
mess. We don't hear about editors. We used to do editor in chief as being the kind of showrunner for comics. It's now it's publisher, now it's whatever the fuck a corporation is.
Yeah.
But a good editor when you see it. I think it's when you leave them alone just enough,
Yeah, yep,
that when you ask them to back up or take another tack on that, that you've given them, oh, wow, he gave me that latitude. He trusted me to come home with it, because this book is so well written. It would not be that good with just somebody going, yeah, the spelling's correct,
yeah, no, no, no.
or that sentence doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. But more, oh, okay, are we telling our story? Is that too much? More what a producer would do, kind of go, I'm just going to give you, don't have to take the notes. But I feel like they took editorial help because the editorial was coming from Archie.
Yep.
They're like, and he nurtured them. I have a feeling, I know I've read interviews, and everybody loved Archie, but I see why when I the set I'm reading Tomb of Dracula, folks. So you're going to hear these episodes all out of order. And when I'm at the end of the first volume, I can't wait for it, but I'm reading it. And there's a thing at the beginning where the first two issues of Tomb of Dracula were by Jerry Conway. The second two were by Archie Goodwin. The third two, 5 issues, 5 and 6, were Gardner Fox. That's a whole different thing. I may just have Kirby come on and after he's read it. I liked it, and then Marv takes over. So Archie's issues are solid. It's whenever I'll read a comic book and go, hey, that was, especially in the 70s, that's really good. I don't remember reading it. And sometimes I'll go, I don't know who wrote that. And I'll go back and check it and go, shit, it was Archie. Well, that's why it's so good. And I'm reading the horror book. I got the horror, and he wrote a ton of horror. And I didn't realize
A lot of creepy.
that. But he started in Harvey, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he started in Harvey, but yeah, like he was one of the main writers for the creepy comics, which you'll hear me and Billy talk about soon.
Yeah,
And yeah, he wrote that for a while, man.
And it's just, I love Archie. Because I love him because of this. Because he was such a big part of when I got into this, and I was reading, like, I'd buy the comic journal every once in a while, whatever. And then the early days of the internet, and so and so's doing this, someone said, Wizard magazine, Jesus Christ. But Archie had a reputation, and it really, I think this book, especially at this time in its run, how do we move forward? I would love to know the thought process of having all the times pass in the one and dones cluttered here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a bad TV thing when you're having, reminded me of Lost, when they would take Lost off and do the mid-season, and then it was like, but now I have this weird gap, so I still got to do 2 character pieces because I need to do an episode about this character, a whole episode, because I need him here. And that's how that is feeling as I'm reading these. That what's going on in this back? Robinson's divorce, Tony leaving the book, and I don't know why. Can't remember why Tony left the book.
I don't either.
Yeah. So, and it doesn't really matter, man. He's a professional. He did half of a big run. That's a lot. That's a lot. I've never, if he had just been like, I want to do something else. That's great. You thank you for what you've done, because I know Archie's going to get the right person.
And he did.
And he did. And I bet that the Yowl does a few, and Hamilton, there's these like just 1 or 2 issues, and then Sedgwick picks up. That's just giving him time. So maybe he was like, well, let's put another times pass now with Gene. Why don't we do, the 80-page giant, to kind of give yourself to get it going. Because I really want to be in space, because I have not reread that.
No, that's
the really, it feels like I'm inching closer. Because I think if I get to that, I might just not read anything but Starman. 2 weeks, because I've only read it once. So, well, back to this one. What did you think of it as an issue?
This is, like I said, this is a very decompressed, but it's finally getting everything so we can finally have the big payoff in 2 issues. It's well written, it's well drawn. I like all of the dialogue. But it is also like if someone wanted to complain that this is like the bad parts of decompression, I can also kind of totally understand it. But at the
Yeah,
same
I do
time,
too.
it's more than the sum of its parts, maybe, or the reverse. I'm not sure which way I mean to go on that. But
I
it's a
agree.
good issue. But at the same time, as to everything you just said, if someone told me I kind of dropped off in the early 40s of Starman at this point, I would kind of not blame them in some
Yeah, because
regards.
it's like 8 months of one of things that are just partial. I mean, because 40 to now,
It's been
uh,
rough. It's been a
it
little
is,
rough.
and I thank God for the compendium. I read
Yeah.
it.
Oh God. Yeah. No, I could not
Because you
imagine
get it. I
reading this
mean,
month to month.
when I reread it, it was like, oh yeah, there's a lot of this. I'm glad and
Yeah.
that sometimes when doing a compendium read or an omni or an epic read, anytime you're doing a big long reread, if you're reading it very quick in succession, there are certain stories that you didn't like originally because it felt slow and
Mm-hmm.
lethargic. Why did this take 8 issues? Mother of God. That could have been an email. Um,
Yeah. It's like you're reading
but
it east
when
of
you read them
west.
together, it's, oh, okay, I'm just getting, this is world building. No, we needed filler. Because and I think some people saw that as this is filler, where they don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to end it? They're going to wrap it up quicker? Or and this was early days of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
There were chats, well, chat rooms, like going to a bad gas station toilet. uh I got in an argument one time with somebody on it, a writer, a comic writer, and that was the last time I ever went on one. I didn't even know why we got mad at each other. Fucking juvenile. So I'm just not going to go. If it made me yell at somebody whose work I like, get nasty to him, I'll pass it. But it seems it's like what we talk about. You were very ardent, so am I. It's like modern comic writing. Why is this a whole issue?
Yeah.
Why ain't this 3 pages with about a dozen panels? You know?
And it's like that. It's finding that middle ground here, where it's like I
Yeah.
don't need uh the 12. What you're saying, the 12 panels of a Roy Thomas comic, but you know,
I don't mind a little flashback, these are periodicals you do.
yeah,
I'm reading the Tomb of Dracula fast through, and it's like, why aren't they reprint? Oh shit, yeah, because this came out bi-monthly. It's been 8 weeks. They've
yeah,
got to do a page on what happened last issue because you don't fucking remember. And the
yep,
people getting this one were like my brother's. He'd be a teenager and smoked a lot of weed. I
yeah,
swear to
yeah.
God,
No,
that's
no, no,
who's
no.
fucking reading this.
Yeah,
Fucking teenage boys in American suburbs with ready available product. Uh, I mean, those John Hughes movies were not inaccurate.
nope.
But um, this one is more decompressed. I think it's more so that it really, if you take all the times pass out
It
and
would.
the other clutter, there's a lot of clutter on this. There are 4 times pass, there's an 80-page giant. You take those 5 comics out of it, the issue before this issue, and the next issue is an 80-page giant or double-size issue
Yep.
because they are very decompressed. It is, I need a spaceship. I find my spaceship. I go. And I join, and the third act is I get a crew, because his
Mm-hmm.
people come with him on the journey. And but if you put those 3 issues together without this, it's like, oh my God. So that could have been a triple, an 80-page giant. And it would all fit perfectly. So they had no other option, I think, to do what they were doing, or let's
Yeah.
just go on hiatus, which is no. Book like this, you're getting it because its numbers stayed up because people who read this and loved it are obsessive about
Yep.
it.
Like I'm critiquing it, but it's out of love.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, this book's so important as a nerd.
Yeah.
My go-to DC person was Ollie. I like Dolly, and I like Clint in the other universe. I like the guys that goes, hey, I'm not your traditional hero, and I'm pretty liberal and obnoxious and righteous, but I'm also, just a nice, Clinton and Ollie are nice guys. They mean the best, but they're also cranks. But
100%.
once I read this, it was like, oh no, that's not even close anymore. It is now him, and then me reading all the other shit and going, why hadn't I ever done that? So, I mean, this series is like crack
Mm-hmm.
to people, and they're just absolutely crazy religious about it. But I think I think everything is happening. It all pays off. I think that I'll get back to the end of this, how choppy this is. It's still worth it. It still works. Rereading it, the thing that because I'm rereading it, one not in order because of recording, I had to, Dave had to be on these and this one, but um, it just stuck out a little more. Um, how how chaotic it got in the background. I would love to know the story kind of like that because that'd be interesting. Because it's just I think it ends up if you're a first time person who got the compendiums and read it, reading it in this order rapidly probably reads way better than it did when it was coming out.
100%.
Yeah, this is Council of Elrod. I finally got past it, but I had to do a book on tape by Andy Serkis. And I really tuned out
Oh,
for about it was 90 minutes.
that sounds about right.
It's like, oh, good. Right in the middle of middle of the second act, at the end of the first act, we're going to do a fucking,
Tom Bombadil bullshit.
oh, that's even the brown acid part of the travels. This is actually, it's going to be about trade negotiations, the prequels in Star Wars. Wait a minute. Why is this all about trade relations? What's going on? Yeah, I think it works great. I just meandered forever to get through that, but I do love this section. I really, really do. All right. Any other thoughts on this section?
No, I think overall, like I said, it's well drawn. But it is just definitely a middle chapter to the bigger chapter. Still definitely worth the read, and in a collection, the compendium's gonna be your easiest time getting it. You will enjoy these issues. Again, Tony Harris is knocking it out of the park art wise, and
Yeah,
just
the page layout in this issue is, I think, it's some of the best he's ever done.
mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just agreeing with you.
I yeah. And I'm looking forward to some of the filling people. I've always liked is it Steve Yao?
I can't remember. I know here.
He did the Solomon Grundy.
Oh, it's not coming to me.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
he's doing a bit. Gene Ha does someone, and Hamilton, who I'm not sure who it is, and then Snedberg comes on. They'll like the second one in space, second or third issue when he's in space.
Yep.
No, I'm looking forward to that. All right. Before we wrap up, do you have anything to recommend?
Okay, I will give it's kind of half a recommendation, but the DC Finest Blue Beetle that just came out, I give it a half because get it on sale because you will absolutely skip the Dan Garrett awful first half of it. But I fully recommend the Steve Ditko, Ted Kord stuff because it's so dynamic. It's the writing. Ditko doesn't do all of the writing. Like there's a scripter a lot to help, which I think helps. But it's kinetic, it's energetic, same thing, colorful, and you can see the seeds of like what Giffen and DeMatteis where they will take Ted in the '80s, and same with Len Wein and Paris Cullen. It's all there. It feels much more modern, and like if Ted was not at Charlton in 1966 or whatever, you could see him being on the Justice League at the time, at the Avengers of the time, and it's like you'll see why he Ted and Jaime make up for one of the best legacies, where Dan Garrett just kind of stumbled into it retroactively. So, you know, get on sale for the Ted Cord portions of the DC Finest Blue Beetle.
Jesus, I can't. Why? I just don't understand why. Maybe they don't have the Golden Age stuff because those first issues are fucking horrible.
Oh, it's so rough, and the
And
lettering,
it's such
which
a thin book. It's like,
oh, it's very thin. That's why I said get it for cheap.
you could have done for like, why don't you at least give us the first 12 of the next one?
I know, like,
Or give me
man,
some of the Golden Age.
or yeah, either way, just pick away. Because I gotta imagine some of that early Golden Age stuff has to be in public
Probably
domain.
terrible.
Oh, it's probably
Bad.
terrible. But still, it's
I
like
don't want to. I don't know what Canadian comics look like in that era because they were all So I don't know, man. Because the shit in not Curtis, the art on the original guy, it's awful and the
it's
scripts are
bad.
terrible. And I got the Peacemaker, and their single issues of that character were great. I'm not interested in the back end, the angry 80s
right,
version. They just made him more and more toxic.
right.
Before James Gunn and John Cena Cave went, no, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Who is my preferred version of him now. But
Oh yeah.
I just where was I? No, that
you were just saying the strengths of the 60 Charlton Peacemaker.
Yeah, the 60s Peacemaker are good. And then it gets kind of bad. But but the
Blue Beetle, it starts bad and gets good.
Oh my God. It's the way I feel about this art is probably I understand the way you feel about Sikowski. Okay? Because this one's triggering. It's so bad. I mean, I thought my brother was asking me, how was it? And I was thinking he was going to defend this artist. And then he goes, oh, no, he messaged and said it was, oh, shit. And I went, oh, good. Thank you. Because it is. It's absolute shit. It's terrible. But the Steve Ditko is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It's night and day. It's just like.
Yeah. And it's like, it's worth it. And I want to read more of the Charlton. Like if they did like a Captain Adam question combined stuff or something, I would read it.
Yeah, I would. Any day. I mean, I like the DC Finest. This is one of the ones we're hicking up. I haven't started to read the Superman one to see if I'm annoyed by having it jump around. I know on the team up I like it because each one's a new. Ooh, what do I get this time? And there are 2 red tornadoes in it. Though I went, really? But that makes me happy because you never got a lot of time to shine. But yeah, I love the format. But you're going to get these. That one I got it because I wanted the Ditko Ted.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they do after this, I'm definitely getting it.
Oh, that one.
Read it. Oh, yeah, I'm jumping right on. Please do a Blue Double one very soon, too. I'd be happy.
Yep.
So my recommendation is I've been jumping around. You know what? I'm going to, for the horror DC Finest. It is so good. It jumps around different writers, different artists. Kill Caning by Wally Wood. First 2 stories. It's fucking amazing. I was so over the moon. And then you're seeing Plug and Wrightson and Toth and you're getting it's a lot of little snapshots and it's a lot of fun. I like it way more than I've liked the science fiction one. I do want to read more into the science fiction one. Maybe, Captain Comet will grab me, or what's grabbed me about the horror is, oh, this is where all the really good people are working. They're not doing the superhero stuff. Here's Archie. Here's Len. Oh, this is why you don't do Justice League anymore, because you're killing it. doing your horror stuff. So check it out. And they're going to do a war one, and they're doing events ones. I like how they're mixing up
A Western one, I think.
the Western one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'd like to read some Western comics. I probably will. There's probably some really great shit in that.
Yep.
If it was Marvel, I'd get to see John Severin. His Western shit is amazing. See, I'm up to the point in the Incredible Hulk and the Omnis. It's Herb Trimpe, and John Severin Hulk. That's my Hulk.
Okay, yeah, that
It works. Him and them and Buscema. Those are absolutely really my two favorites. Because they're my favorite runs. So, all right, folks. This will go up sometime soon. Kirby was nice enough he remembered that I may have missed one because I've done these so out of order that it's insane. So I'm gonna, after lunch, I'm gonna sit here and figure it out and probably get one or two of these up for you guys to listen to because I got a lot in the queue. Hey, but be safe, be smart, please be kind to one another, and read some comics. Read some Starman.
Bye, everybody.
And we're doing Starman issue
43.
45, 43. You're right.
What would you do without me?
I know. No, I'm just opening it, and that was the last issue I read, so I must hit the wrong. Perfect. Okay. All right. Well, hello, and welcome to. All right.